So about 50 to 60 years ago, when the church changed our liturgical calendar, this time period after the Christmas season was referred to as post-epiphany, not just ordinary time, which to me sounds more boring. I like post-epiphany better. But this year at least, because the readings change on a 3-year cycle, we keep the same Gospels that we would have heard in those post-Epiphany days a few decades ago. And these Gospels are the other epiphanies of the Lord. And so obviously the first Epiphany was Epiphany Sunday, where the 3 kings, 3 wise men, 3 astronomers, whatever you want to call them, came and they saw in the Christ child that this is God. This is a mighty king, the Prince of Peace, and wonder counselor, God hero, Father forever, all those things we heard in Isaiah. And so these 3 kings, then they represent the whole world. And so the epiphany there is that Christ came to save everyone, not just the chosen people. Last Sunday was the baptism of the Lord. That was the second epiphany, where at Jesus' baptism, the heavens are open, the dove comes down, and we hear the voice saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am pleased." The epiphany there is that Jesus really is God, but not only that he's God, but that he's a son. And that God and has a Father. And so it's many epiphanies within that. The most important of which is that God is love. And love has to be a relationship. Love can never be selfish. Love can never be self-centered. And love can never be singular. That's not love. Love has to be relational. And so for this voice to come from the heavens at Jesus' baptism and saying, "You are my beloved Son," that gives us the foundation of who God is as Trinity. It can't just be one divine person loving himself. That would make God selfish, and it would make God egotistical, and that is not God. God is a relationship of love. It's the Father loving the Son loving the Father. The love between them is the Holy Spirit. That's how St. Augustine describes it. And now today we have the third epiphany, the wedding at Cana, where Jesus turns water into wine. And so here we see that Jesus, because he's God, because he is love, because he is in a relationship with the Father, and he has come to save all people, not just the Jews, the chosen people, now we see that he performs miracles. But not only that he can do a cool magic trick and turn water into wine, but rather that in his miracles, Jesus is looking to fulfill the desires of our hearts. Jesus doesn't just do miracles to get an audience to follow him. Jesus was never short on followers and said, "Oh, let me do this cool, I'll walk on water and then they'll start following me again." Right? That was never the point of Jesus' miracles. It was always to fulfill a desire. So the walking on water, the disciples are alone in the boat, scared because of the storm, and Jesus comes to bring peace and to bring calmness, to show them that he is here to help them. He's fulfilling that desire to need something steady, right? That they desire safety. All the healing miracles. The most famous one of the blind Bartimaeus, the blind man, Jesus says, "What do you want me to do for you?" He says, "Lord, make me see." And so these miracles aren't just neat tricks, but they're fulfilling a desire. And so for us, this is a great time to actually look deep into our hearts and ask ourselves, what is it that we desire? And we got to get away from the superficial stuff, right? We desire warm weather. Okay, yes, it will come. I desire someone else to shovel my snow. Well, okay. Get past that stuff and get down to what is it that we're really desiring. Oftentimes it helps to think of our vices, because oftentimes those sins that we keep committing over and over again is just a way to fill that desire that's really at the bottom of our heart. It's especially true with any addictions. We're just using something from the earth to fulfill something that only eternal love can satisfy. And see, Jesus wants to know those desires of our hearts. He wants us to bring those to Him so that He can fulfill them. Even if it is something like, I want warm weather, that's fine. Jesus wants to know that too. But to really get deep into the heart, to really ask ourselves, what is it that I need? And He will fulfill it. If He could provide booze at a wedding, He can provide you with what you are really seeking.